Still no John Warner on Off and on the Clock. He claims to be a man of the people, and yet he's apparently on a 4-month European vacation. So I don't know about that. But Nez and I are here to hold down the fort. We'll talk a little So You Think You Can Tout after yesterday's episode. We have breaking Rashee Rice news. And also, we're going to let you guys decide what we draft today. We're an open book. You guys want Eliminator. You want weekly winners. You want, BBMs. It is up to you guys. We'll let you decide. This is Off and on the Clock with Pete and Nez. Let's do it. All right, Nez. Breaking news. Rashee Rice seen leaving jail, running to a black SUV while laughing, and then speeding off as if he's O.J. Simpson in a white Bronco.
I hate that. My first thought seeing that video was like, damn, he looks healthy. Like, he looks good, man. The backwards walk to a sideways run out of jail to avoid the paparazzi was like the most bullish thing you could have ever seen. Like, watch this. Look at this. Like, dude. Look at that. Jog. No limp whatsoever. Look at this. And he's gone.
Dude, the backwards walk just kills me here.
Yeah, like, no, you ain't gonna get my face.
Door.
With a smile. With a smile. He's happy. He's gleeful. This is incredible. I think that's about as good of a video as you could have seen of a man leaving jail. And I know, like, the next talking point is coming up, but it's insane that this is going to, like, affect his ADP.
Oh, that was actually him sprinting to the 2-3 turn. He was sprinting right back there. And he might even round past go and collect $200 into the late round too.
I would not be surprised, man. I really wouldn't be surprised. I mean, and I can't blame some people for having some trepidation and wanting to see him, be healthy at training camp. But, like, it's just so funny the way that these things work, man. You just know it's like it's free CLV, and people still pass it up.
Here's the thing with Rashee Rice, though. There's still a lot of summer left. It is never done with this guy. This guy could round trip another 60 days in jail before the start of the season, and I would not be surprised.
that is the truth, right? Like, there's always that baked in risk with Rashee that he's going to do something asinine and just ruin it for everybody.
Exactly. So we will see where he goes in our drafts today. Nez, I'd be remiss too if I didn't get any final NBA Finals takes from you.
Sure.
We talked about it a little bit last week. The Knicks, of course, take it down here. Did you have any final thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that when the series was 3-1 that it was like over. Like, most of the time, it's 3-1. Okay, like, the series is done. Like, we're done here. Like, it's gonna be boring. Conceivably, the Spurs could have won every single game in that series, including Game 5. So I was like, there's not there's like a very, very large non-zero chance the Spurs actually come back and win this series. Like, did I think that was going to happen? No, but like, it's pretty easy to paint the case as to how that could happen. Obviously, they blow the huge lead in Game 5. Like, just, again, pretty insane how every single win for New York essentially was a miraculous comeback. It wasn't even a small comeback. These were all, like, pretty large comebacks that New York has made for most of those wins. So, oh, man, crazy. I think the Spurs believers played good, ran bad, but, man, like, the Knicks are the team of destiny, and, I don't know that they are a top 5, top 10 team all time, but this was easily a top 3 postseason for any NBA team. They lost 3 games this entire NBA playoffs. I mean, that's unbelievable, man. Like, that is utter dominance.
What did you think about this, ESPN? We have the Spike Lee day one, ONE, day one, WON. This one got me so good. Ben here. It's a photo of Ben Stiller for our audio listeners. And then the current Ben Stiller still here.
I'm just glad that, our Hollywood superstars can finally, get a dub out here. Really, really good for them. Glad things finally broke right in their lives.
There is nothing the media loves more than courtside celebrities at sporting events. And so to get the New York Mecca and everybody coming out, it got to the point where I was hearing some takes that people had Timothée Chalamet fatigue. Like Chalamet has been the king of Hollywood, arguably on like the biggest heater of any actor since like peak Leonardo DiCaprio. People are like, I'm sick of seeing this guy courtside at Knicks games.
I mean, it's insane, dude. I think people also like, I mean, I'll defend Timmy here. You know, I don't think people understand that Timmy's like day one too, like truly, like he's been out here, like, and a lot of people that watch the show, he's like our age too. So I don't know how many guys like that watch this show, like despise Timmy. I think a lot of guys our age, like Timmy, because, you know, he was on the internet at the same time I was on the internet. We were definitely like on the same forums, like liking the same things. Like he's like just a cool kid that just happened to, you know, bust out and be a super famous actor. I can understand the fatigue, but like I don't mind it. I think that obviously the media likes it, and I think people like it too because it just really humanizes them. Like, oh wow, they are passionate about sports too. You know, like, oh, the stars are just like us. You know.
Well, let me give you a counterpoint, Nez. Why is it okay when Timothée Chalamet is in the winning locker room with his goggles on, celebrating with the team? But when our FBI director, Kash Patel, does it, it's somehow an issue. Tell me, make that double standard make sense for me.
I'm surprised. Dang, man, you're giving me overview bits on off and on the clock.
I know, I just wasted one.
Dang, man. Yeah. Why is that a double standard? Why do we have to demonize good old Kash and not Timmy? I think it was a little silly that they were in there, but if the players wanted them in there, you know, then it's fine. It did seem like they did.
We also have some breaking news here. Our guy Numi just tipped us off. We had heard rumors of this previously. I can't remember if this was internal rumors, public rumors, but they are here. Scheduled drafts on Underdog. They have added reoccurring scheduled drafts every night at 8 p.m. Eastern for high-stakes best ball contests specifically, the Big Dog and the Mastiff. There's instructions here on how it works. You slide the scheduled draft option, and then you'll see a few different times. They do have a follow-up in this tweet. It is fast drafts only. You select scheduled draft toggle, then enter the draft like normal. Once a draft fills 12 of 12 entries, it is locked, and the draft will begin at the scheduled time. If the draft doesn't fill, it will be canceled, and you will be refunded. Nez, this is obviously an awesome addition. You know, FFPC have had this. When you're putting that kind of money on the line, to be able to schedule it, plan ahead for it, I think is really important.
Yeah, no, I think that is awesome. A lot of people, you know, don't want to just like enter a draft and roll the dice. Like maybe it starts, maybe it doesn't. And I think you'll see a lot of like evenings, you know, evening time slots filled, specifically weekends for this. And it's just such an awesome change, right? Like there's just nothing but upside here. And, you know, selfishly for content, I think it's pretty awesome too, to like plan out, like you can plan ahead. You can create the stream and say, hey, here's this scheduled draft, enter the scheduled draft with us. We're going to be drafting a Big Dog. We're going to draft a Mastiff. Here's what time. Like that makes it really, really easy for content purposes.
Yeah, it really does. I love it. Hopefully this, you know, sticks and they see a lot of use. They're able to add secondary drafts. I think it'll be really, really cool because like right now, I mean, I was able to fill a Big Dog when Adam Levitan's on stream, but it can be hard to do it otherwise. You know, as Roquette says, huge for the Flock streams. He's always trying to fill those Big Dogs as well. So awesome change there. Devs be shipping, all that good stuff. Nez, you told me before we get rolling with the draft, you might have had some So You Think You Can Tout Survivor episode takes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I say this every episode, but I'm like, wow, that was the best episode. The Survivor episode for me was like easily the best episode, just because you really got to like see so much of the touts. And also I thought the feedback was like really good and transferable for pretty much anybody that wants to create content. Like that was the feedback sessions were really good. But my favorite part though was just like hearing the touts discuss. Like it was very much like the most candid versions of these touts that we got. Maybe Tony Swears was really, you know, hamming it up because it was Survivor week, but I thought Tony was like the MVP of the episode just in general. Fun twist, not to like, you know, spoil anything here, but there was some fun twists in this one. And just like, you really got to see a different side of everybody here that like made me, like a lot of these guys more because of just being able to hear them talk things out. Really good format. This was my favorite.
Yeah, man. Like I love hearing that and reading through all of the comments. It was like so validating for, I'm going to write about this week in the PO box too. But like, the show is essentially, there's 3 different plates that are spinning right now. There's a reality TV show, which this episode was like quintessential reality TV. There's a competition. We're trying to find out who can tout, who has all these different skill sets in different areas. And then there's the third part. Who do I want to collaborate? The winner. I'm going to be choosing someone that I want to work with. And those things don't all necessarily work in harmony with each other. Some of those things work in opposition, and to see how people walk that tightrope and try to balance all of those elements of the show, I think has made it so fun. And to your point, so much of what they've done up to this point, it has been recorded. You've been able to kind of present yourself. And this tribal council just dropped all our personalities in. And it was, I think, as you even said in your comment, like it was a masks off moment that you can present yourself as much as you want. But once you're in that moment, the emotions show through, and like who you really are really just comes to play. And that's what made it, I think, so compelling.
Yeah, no, that was so good. Just I guess some spoilers here if you are watching.
I think it's, you can turn it off. I think it's fine at this point.
Right.
If you haven't watched it, pause right now and come back in 5 minutes.
I will say, I think O'Hara did not make the right decision. I don't think he was correct in not sending 2 of the strongest contestants alive into Tribal Council. Like the game theory on that, I think was so backwards, and I think he totally got mogged on that one. Like he was, he felt the not the intimidation, but just like the potential clout of the Toxic Tower, and like totally caved in. I'm like, brother, like why would you do that? I don't think that he played that right at all. They're not going to save you in the future. They're absolutely looking out for each other first and foremost. Like, yeah, cool. You want some kudos with them, but like, bro, it's a game. I didn't get that at all.
Well, it goes back to what I was just saying with the different things, right? There's like the reality TV element, protecting your alliances and your friends, but then there's the winning the show element, like you said. And so it goes back to, what are you optimizing for? What is the game theory play you're actually optimizing for? I thought both O'Hara, by the way, dropped a video just on Twitter about 30 minutes ago. I retweeted it. And Mitchell also dropped a video. There's lots of fun behind the scenes stuff. I love these guys kind of revealing and making content about how they felt and all of that stuff. But I'm not going to editorialize on it, but I thought it was very interesting as well. And I do think it just goes back to that idea of, we were coming off of Duo Week and obviously Survivor Week, and like a lot of bonds and friendships were made through those things. Like it's inevitable, right? Like you and John, when you make a shit ton of content together, like you are naturally bonded through that experience. And then to weigh the game theory elements with like legit friendships you've made, I can understand why that would put someone in a pretzel.
Sure. That's a good point. I did kind of forget that he was PPR Tyler's duo. So that probably did, definitely factor in. That's a pretty good point.
But yeah, no, it again, like there's been lots of moments. Like, I mean, even the Zach and Brian Hartman thing, right? There's the game theory. There's the game theory. And then there's also the, wait, like, did we have something coming out of it? And so that's what's so fun for us, is to get to play with all of those elements of who's trying to win the show, who's trying to play a reality TV game, who is able to do all 3 of them. And we're quickly finding out that's the case.
Yeah, this is just a really fun wrinkle because, it's a nice break from like, the fantasy football challenges to like actual game theory and stuff. Like you said, you're spinning a lot of plates, and getting this side of the show was just like awesome. And like, I'm totally like craving more of this style of the show, but I understand that this show is not like, it's not Survivor. Yeah. It's not about alliances and, in trying to backstab people, but that was really well done.
Yeah, we're entering a period now with this is a spoiler again, with 8 people remaining, if you haven't watched, where the other elements of the show. There are still very much can be reality TV show moments, but some of those other plates that I talked about, those are going to become more forefront. Like I am ultimately deciding who I want to collaborate with. And so much of the intangibles and the stuff on the side is really going to come into play. And yeah, I'm learning a lot about these people, and it's telling me a lot about, what I'm looking for. So can't wait for you guys to see what we're cooking up. We're already on to the next challenge. We'll have some more details for everyone on that shortly. But yeah, go check it out. So You Think You Can Tout on YouTube. Should be able to find it easily. Hour and 18 minutes. I would say it's like a typical Survivor episode where the challenge is cool, but it's really the scheming, the setup for Tribal where the payoff happens. So yeah, go check all of that out when you get a sec.
Seriously, yeah, all of it is good. The feedback is, like I said, some of my the most underrated part. There's less to talk about there. It's just, the feedback was just good, but like Ron and Mason did a good job with that.
They did a great job. Yeah. And I mean, those guys were like literally the perfect judges far as guys who do both live stream and pre-produce content. And again, like that stuff too, like means a lot to me. Like I made sure in the edit, what I said to Zach and what I said to Neil was included, because again, one of the elements too is everyone who's made it this far, they have really strong skill sets, and everybody has their weaknesses, but I want to make sure that these people know, like, you did not fail, in the context of making content. And there's like so much you can now do to parlay this momentum into being good at what you're good at.
Yeah, 100%. I would hate for people to come away from any of this like discouraged and less hungry to make content. I mean, maybe if this was your one shot and this is all you cared about, I guess like do you, but if content is really what you want to do, like, getting discouraged from that is such the wrong message to take away. Everybody, like you said, has strong suits, and this has just been great just for anybody that wants to like even like make content. Like this is some really good free game.
Yeah. And that's my hope too, is that when people who are maybe watching back on delay, well, one, it's very evergreen, and two, that you can pull out those nuggets from Mayo, from Evan and Adam, from Ron and Flock, when I'm able to share my thoughts in those things, because I do think there's a pretty good playbook in there.
Yeah.
And even some of the soft stuff, like, Mason having that line about, I've done all this time and you will never hear me talking shit about another creator. And there is so much truth to that when you're thinking about collaborations. People notice that stuff, how you talk about other people, behind closed doors, all of that stuff. And it's a huge filter for who I want to work with, like working with you and John, who are guys that I never hear you guys talking shit about other people. And I think that's another interesting thing about it, to kind of see like, how do people carry themselves in that way.
Yeah, that was so good to see Mason address the commish there. That was awesome.
I will say, I don't know if I've said this yet. I think I had vaguely known about that video, but completely honest, I had no recollection when we were setting up the judges. Like that was not engineering to be like, give me Mason with Mitchell. I completely forgot about it. And when the very first thing you saw it, when we hopped on, the very first thing Mason said to me is like, so I think I know one of the guys in this tribe. And he immediately starts talking about Mitchell. And I was like, oh my God. And I pieced it together all in real time. And that was quite the cherry on top to that judging.
Yeah, I was shocked that he had that strong of a memory about it. But I think I would too. If I ever caught wind of that, I would definitely remember. But I love the commish was like, maybe he didn't see it. I don't know.
That was my favorite, sitting there when he was saying like, oh, we can do water under the bridge. And I was like, actually, I'm going to play you right now.
I love it, man. I love it.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. We'll do 2 drafts today. I think we can do 2 different styles. What do you think, Nez, of letting the people vote right now between Eliminator and weekly winners for the first draft?
Yeah, I think those should be the options. I like doing these like unique contests. We get them filled whenever, I think a lot of people have trouble kind of filling these drafts. So what do you guys want here? I would probably be team weekly winners if it was up to me, but I'm down to do whatever the chat wants. Yeah, just type 1 or 2, by the way, in the comments. That's how you're voting.
1 is if you guys want to see us do an Eliminator, 2 if you want us to do weekly winners, and then we should have time for a second draft, and we'll probably do a traditional contest. We can put like puppy pointer, pit bull. We can put one of those up.
Yeah, you didn't max the pointer.
I'm still rocking on stream only here, and so
Wow.
unless we do a pointer here, maybe we should. I will campaign for the pointer when we get there.
Okay,
so I can
yeah,
get
hopefully
one bullet in the pointer.
Yeah, hopefully it's still up. It's a fun format. It really is.
I love we have Nathaniel's mom, who Nathaniel loves the Eliminator from So You Think You Can Tout. He's vowed to stream all 150, and even his mom is vouching for Eliminator here. So it looks like that's going to win, Nez.
And mom is a YouTube member? That is so sick. My dad isn't even a YouTube member.
Well, it's funny because she became a YouTube member the night Nathaniel was on After Dark.
Oh, okay.
And then she became the first person to ever become a YouTube member and then also join the stream shortly after, because she ran over to Nathaniel's house and hopped on the stream.
That is awesome. Shout out to Marilyn, who has gone viral once, I saw.
That's true. That's true. On over on TikTok with the travel. Follow her on TikTok. All right. It looks like, Nez, we got a pretty clear victor here. Eliminator 69%. Nice to weekly winners 31%. We will hop in and draft an Eliminator team here. For those of you guys who missed our kind of strategy overview show on this, I would definitely go back and watch that kind of evergreen discussion about this format, about the contest, the different tweaks, between this and traditional best ball. But as just kind of a quick refresher, the round 1 advancement, you are in a 12-person pod, just like you are in traditional, but 6 of 12 advance. So 50% advance. The other 6 teams are eliminated. And then after that, it's 15 weeks of head-to-head matchups until you get to a 3-seat week 17 final. And so what that means in practice, Nez, is that week 1 is really important because it is the most difficult week to advance, because then 1 of 2, you open yourself up to more variance and different things. Obviously, the bye weeks are important, but what other kind of considerations are you thinking through when you do join Eliminator drafts?
I'm very much focused on, I guess I would call it buying points. And when I plan on cashing in those points, and based on how my team is structured, I really do think that it's very important to think about, the range of outcomes for your team. And if you have a team that hey, you could probably use, like a Cooper Kupp score, in one of these first 5 weeks, because your wide receivers are really, a coin flip to outscore him in some of those weeks. You take a guy like that. So obviously I'm floors over roars for the Eliminator, but I am very much thinking about draft capital a lot. And, I think RB heavy is still the way to go here, but all right, we're on the clock. Would you call me crazy to tell you to take Amon-Ra?
So I would, because I would be JSN or Genty if you go running back.
Genty's cool.
So, talk to me about why you would go Amon-Ra over JSN, specifically with the 5-week buy difference.
Yeah, I mean, obviously big buy difference. You probably weight that toward JSN, but JSN shares a buy with 5 other teams that are really, really good. The Rams, the Patriots, the Packers, and then the Falcons and the Browns as well, which are less enticing, but that's just a ton of good teams. And what's interesting about those teams too is they're spread out throughout the draft. They're not really concentrated, so you can pretty much at any given round be considering somebody with a week 11 bye. So I'll avoid that. And then I also just think Amon-Ra is a better pick for the Eliminator. JSN, we have one awesome season with JSN. Don't get me wrong. It was absolutely dominant, but who knows what's going to be what the Seattle offense is going to be like this year. And Amon-Ra has done it year over year over year. It's just the most consistent player in fantasy football. I believe wide receiver 3 for 3 years in a row now. Was the stat I thought I heard. So yeah, I prefer Amon-Ra for the Eliminator.
Yeah, I have a hard time, I think, with the buy and just the slight ceiling difference there, but I certainly get the floor element as well for Amon-Ra. We're back on the clock. This is kind of a tricky spot. Hampton, London, Love, Pickens. What do you like here?
I'm probably Hampton. I'm definitely like, there's a lot of FUD around Hampton everywhere. I don't think like ETR or Leg Up has Hampton at or ahead of ADP.
Yeah.
People are questioning his rookie tape, his rookie season. Like people are unsure if he's good or not. I don't know, man. I think he's pretty good. I mean, I've been wrong judging guys on tape before, but I think Hampton, the game logs could have been better, but the flashes Hampton flashed, I thought were really, really strong in terms of like top speed that he has. I think that he's a tough guy to tackle. And it was kind of worst case scenario last year for the Chargers. Like Keenan Allen dominated the offense. Hampton obviously gets hurt. Pretty much every offensive lineman gets hurt. Brandon Bozeman, the center, was like the worst center in history. It was just awful, all bad. And now you just improve so many elements of this Chargers team. They add one or two fullbacks to this team. They bring in Mike McDaniel, obviously. You get a healthy O-line. I'm not like scared of Amari Hampton, man. He was a first-round pick. Keaton Mitchell is behind him, who I am not worried about. Kamani Vidal is a sixth-round pick. I don't think Kamani Vidal is stealing touches from Amari Hampton if he's healthy. I kind of just want to be the guy that takes Hampton.
Yeah, I was completely with you for this selection. I was kind of intrigued by Drake London as well as kind of the arbitrage Amon-Ra selection there, just high floor, later buy. You know, we already have the running back start, but it was close between those two. I think Hampton was the right pick for this format. I am struggling with the Chargers running backs a lot just in general because I find Hampton and Keaton Mitchell overpriced. And I do really think Kamani Vidal could be a really big fly in the ointment. And yet I will not argue the upside cases for either Hampton or Keaton Mitchell. I just feel like we are having to pay the complete premium for those upside scenarios at these costs.
Yeah, that's hard to debate there.
I like the Devontae Smith, Olave, Zay. I would say Devontae Smith, unless you don't mind taking the Jacobs risk.
I think Devontae's a pretty good selection here.
Yeah. Right at ADP for Eliminator, you know, it's definitely a cheaper cost than what you have to pay in the traditional formats. But again, that late buy, him stepping into an alpha target share there, that just feels like a rock solid wide receiver one in this format.
Yeah, the steam has not caught up to him here like it did in BBM, but that's because people obviously are like way prioritizing running backs here, which is the right move. I think. I don't think people were doing that quite enough last year, but yes, Devontae here just like seems super safe just for the volume. Maybe by the end of the summer, Rashee's going there, but I think until further notice, Devontae Smith's the safer bet.
So Justin in the chat says Hampton, Keaton, the Mostert, Achane from that explosion year. I could see that happening from an output standpoint. Obviously, that's still a really high end, but the cost was so different. Both Achane and Mostert were priced after pick 100 that year. Basically, you have to have Hampton do the Mostert thing to pay off his draft cap cost. Like that's to pay it off. You are not going to get a league winning smash from Hampton in a split backfield. Like Hampton to return top 5 value, he has to dust these guys and become a true bell cow. And so I think to me, that's the big difference. And if you believe that thesis, then you should have absolute bags of Keaton Mitchell, if you believe that.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Like it's definitely like the ceiling, but man, I can just see it so clearly. Like, wow, like Hampton is in a great offense and he has an awesome offensive coach. Like why did we not want the goal line back? The guy that catches passes.
T Higgins, Swift, Evans, Burden.
I would say probably Higgins or Swift.
Yeah.
I could also do Bucky if you want to, you know, just if you're feeling bullish, but I'm not feeling that bullish on Bucky that I would take him there.
Yeah, I was trying to look at what we were going to like more at pick 55 there. But again, kind of the Higgins slide here. Again, we do not see this in BBM where you routinely have, Flowers, Tetaroya, Igbuka, Garrett Wilson, Ladd, like all go in front of Higgins there. So I don't mind scooping that up. The hope is like that we can get one of those running backs at pick 55 where Swift is the start of that tier, which doesn't feel as good. And then I was looking at the backside of the board. One team hasn't taken a wide receiver. Only one team has 2 wide receivers. I thought maybe we could get some yellow going and we might like the running back pick more.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was definitely I think best pick available there with T. Higgins. We already had 2 running backs here. Nothing wrong with getting that wide receiver 2 here. And I love T. Higgins this year, man. Like I think he has kind of a bad rap of being boom or bust. I think there's been so many weird health things that have happened with Burrow and or Higgins the last like few years that if they're both healthy, and I think they, and they are right now, Higgins is going to smash. Like I feel so good about T. Higgins this year.
And I think you kind of hit on it too, but this is why the Eliminator is such it puts your brain in a pretzel, because initially you want to index to floor in safety, but a guy who can drop a 40-point week and single-handedly wins you week has immense value as well. And so you still are really balancing floor and ceiling in the same way you are in a traditional format.
Yeah, you can't ignore the spikes, especially when it's at value. And T. Higgins there, I think, has like asymmetric upside for where he goes. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like Henderson, Price, J-Mo, Watson.
I think I would say Henderson.
That's where I was leaning.
Yeah. I mean, there are concerns here for early week production from Henderson, but I'm kind of in the camp that Henderson another year with Vrabel here, like in a full offseason of like not being a rookie, is going to affect his usage positively early on. And I don't think we see like Super Bowl Henderson usage. I think we kind of see a more involved Henderson early in the season than last year. Like I think this will be a much faster ramp up than rookie season Henderson. And really, and again, this is another pick where there's like asymmetric upside where Trevion Henderson could just be like an uber smash with how good we think that this team will be. There's a lot to like, obviously, about Trevion.
Yeah, and it's interesting, kind of pick your poison. In this draft, Judkins goes against Henderson. I think there's concerns about Judkins' pass catching role, huge concerns about the offense in the quarterback play. But it's a little easier to hang your hat on 15 carries a game, with Judkins out of the gate. I don't think anybody's going to quibble with that. But Trevion Henderson upside as a lead back in a Drake May offense with A.J. Brown, it's hard not to get excited about really high-end outcomes there.
Yeah, like even like the volume that would be needed, for Judkins to outscore Henderson on an average week would probably be like 5 to 6 touches just because of the environments that they're in. And yeah, I think Judkins needs a lot more to go right than Henderson to pay off. I was going to look up too, Ryan Heath from, obviously, I think everybody here knows him from Fantasy Points, had a pretty cool infographic that was just real like how much game script matters. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah. So like Burrow and May are both team level bets.
I'm Jaylen Warren, man.
Okay, let's do. I'm good with that. I like running back maxing here.
Yeah.
And having to decide between Burrow and May is a little tough there. Oops. And we know we can build out a 3 quarterback team.
Yeah, for sure. Because we can essentially stop the running back room at this point. Like I feel pretty good about this running back room. Maybe 5, but I would say probably no more than 5.
Couple things here. Who wins in 1v1 no strip, Nez or P? I mean, Nez absolutely no strip mogs me. I actually had a good streak going with no strips, and then I fell off. I'm trying to get back in the bedtime routine there, but on stream, man, I can't keep up.
I mean, if you can sleep without them, that's probably for the best. I don't know, is there long-term effects to no stripping every night? Like,
are there?
I don't know. Like, will my nostrils eventually like lose their structure because they're being They're being stretched.
They're just the second you take it off, your nose just collapses.
I mean, there's a chance I might have a rhinoplasty coming in my future in the next 10 years. I don't know. I mean, I don't think anybody's used nose strips as often as I have.
Andrew says, thoughts on Price falling, Jadarian Price. He goes at pick 62 here. Chuba flips him. I think Price is a really interesting one for Eliminator, right? Because in general, you would say, hey, backloaded guy, a little shaky prospect profile. Does he earn the coach's trust? They're already talking about George Halani. You got Emmanuel Wilson there. On the other hand, the thesis is, hey, without Sharbs, they're going to need an explosive runner in this backfield for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks. So the question to me is, can you get fast start Jadarian Price, or is he going to be a back-weighted bet? If he is a back-weighted bet, then you're still running into Sharbs returning as well. So I honestly think in Eliminator, I do kind of want to play him as a fast start guy.
Yeah, that's the hope. If he's not fast starting, like you said, what is the case for Jadarian Price? For me, Price is basically like a do not draft. I think that there's upside in both scenarios where he's not even getting enough volume early on, and then Sharps comes and mogs him. Like, I think there's a chance that this Jadarian Price pick for the Seahawks in the draft just like looks like really silly, and they could have done something else.
Dude, dream scenario here. Ooh. May falling back. I mean, we also have Hurts with the direct stack. I kind of think this may fall plus the slightly later bye week, but I can go either way here.
Yeah, I like Drake May. I strongly prefer Drake May to Jalen Hurts this season.
Dude, great call on Warren there. I was going to maybe, I think by myself, click May there. And now we get both Warren and May, and we hit the value pockets at right or the perfect time.
At this point, like, the running back selections are so dicey, and like, you don't like, if you take a running back after this point, like with our running back room, like say we only have 3 right now. I mean, we would 100% be going 5 running backs. Like there's so much, maybe even 6 at this point, just because there's so little certainty at the position from this point.
All right, we have here's the team. Drake May at quarterback. We get him falling to pick 79. We got the 4 running backs up top, Genty and Omarion Hampton, and then we come back and grab Henderson in the 5th, and then Jalen Warren. And then we still have those 2 wide receivers that we snuck in the 3rd and 4th round with Devontae Smith, T. Higgins. Like, the shape of this team I love it for Eliminator.
Yeah, me too. This is essentially my ideal start for an Eliminator team. And what I try to do most often is buy these running back points, get our flex points, and then fill in the gaps from there.
So we are on the clock. Quorum comes off the board. I would be down with a Dobbins play, or you take your preference of one of these wide receivers.
I think I would go Addison here.
Addison over, interesting. Can I talk you into Downs?
Yeah, let's go Downs. That's fine.
Well, I get talk to me on Addison, because to me, he's a much harder sell in this format. You have the early week bye. You have Jennings coming over. I love the spike week potential for BBM stuff, but I do worry that his floor is even lower this year. Not to mention even some of the concerns with Kyler and his deep ball accuracy, yada, yada. Why does he stand out for you over some of these guys, I think, with probably higher projected targets per game?
I will say the one in hindsight, I would not have said him just because we have the T. Higgins week 6 bye. So that makes me feel worse. But in terms of like how he fits this team and what I think this team's going to look like, the way I defend it is we're going to draft a lot of wide receivers on this team. Mm-hmm. And there is a chance that Jordan Addison, like, one, provides spike weeks. I think that's his calling card. But there's also an element of Jordan Addison's game where he's like a very talented wide receiver, and we're getting Kyler Murray into this Vikings offense, like the best coaching that Kyler Murray's ever had. Like there's just a chance that the Vikings are like super, super good. And Addison, if that's the case, like, let's say, I don't know who to compare them to. Let's say they're operating at a Sam Darnold level efficiency. Like when Sam Darnold was there, they won 13 games or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Jordan Addison probably goes 2 rounds earlier if we know that is like the level of quarterback play that we're getting. So I think that he just has a lot of upside and a chance to be, to be a decent eliminator pick. Ultimately, we're going to be able to fill in the gaps where he doesn't spike, because we're going to draft probably like 8 wide receivers on this team.
Yep. We're about to pick at 103. We do have to keep in mind quarterback stuff. I will say, like, Jonathan Brooks is going even higher than this in BBM. He could be a fun, like, last running back selection. You got Pitts falling a smidge. Jacoby, what do you think here?
Yeah, I like Brooks here, man. I think the way that our team is set up, we can easily, absorb any slow start that happens for Jonathan Brooks. And then he has the early bye as well, which is like nice. So we're baking in a slow start for Jonathan Brooks and we're covered. He gets the bye week out of the way. And then if he does ascend and become the RB1, like that will be huge for us, obviously, because he would just be a smash, obviously, in the 9th round if he does end up taking that role. And like you said, he goes earlier in BBM too. And running backs are at a premium here.
That is weird how much all the other running backs are pushed up. Like, we even see Chris Rodriguez come off at 104. Gainwell went 96. Jones 97. I mean, to me, like, the whole, like, if we're spooked about Brooks's health, I mean, that hasn't really been the case from training camp. Everything is, he's like ready to rock. So if fast start stuff is on the table, he should be moving up at a, proportionally to these other running backs moving up.
Right. Yeah. Like, I think he has a better chance of taking on a starting role than like Monangai with health withstanding, like, I think he can actually like snatch Chuba's chain. I don't think Monangai is doing that to Swift if Swift stays healthy.
Drake May, 5 running backs: Genty, Hampton, Henderson, Jalen Warren, Brooks, 3 wide receivers: Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, Josh Downs. About to pick at 114. A little Bo Nix slide here with the week 10 bye is interesting to me. Jacoby is always in play here, as is a Ricky Pearsall or Wandell. What do you like here?
I'm like run to the podium Bo Nix.
Let's do it.
And then we don't have to worry about quarterback the rest of the way if we don't want to. Like, this totally opens us up to just like spray and pray at wide receiver and tight end.
Question from Michael in the chat: is elite tight end more valuable in, he says Elim, but he got auto-corrected to Elon, given their usual excellent week-to-week floor? I mean, this is a fun conversation topic because last year across the Eliminator teams that made it deep, you did see a lot of Trey McBride, but you also saw a lot of late-round tight end, a lot of Harold Fannin, Dallas Goedert, tight end 3 rooms. The big question to me is, the reason I don't like elite tight end is more that you tend to want to use one of your later roster spots to make up for lack of quality at running back, at wide receiver. And so you often will go to tight ends. I think the way injuries and buys and low scoring from the tight end position in general plays out, having those 3 tight ends in Eliminator is really, really nice. That said, Nez, when you get deeper and deeper into the contest, having the guy who can go for 25 like McBride and single-handedly win you your week also has merit. So I'm back to just shrugging my shoulders.
No, I think it's difficult to advance elite tight end teams in the Eliminator would be my gut take. Obviously they have those like asymmetrical spike weeks, but I'd rather play tight end at volume and just like buy a decent floor from the tight end position. And then now when you do elite tight end now, also like you are sacrificing like a sick running back selection. Like you can't have both necessarily. Like you could, but you are like I think Kelsey here.
Yes, I was just putting a few different names in the queue, but Kelsey falls to 127. We don't have a tight end yet. He does have the early bye week, but we are going to end up with at least 3 tight ends on this team. So starting it out with a guy like Kelsey, who should be expected to catch 5-6 balls at minimum right out of the gate.
Yeah, he's like the Eliminator tight end here. I'm surprised that he doesn't go a little sooner in these drafts, honestly. But yeah, I think the opportunity cost, ultimately just a TLDR, the elite tight end conversation, I think is just a little too much for me. But I totally get if you have like uber confidence in those elite tight ends, then for sure do it. It could, the bull case is pretty easy to make.
Yeah. So we got the Hailstorm here who's drafting right next to us out of the 6 hole. And he did the Brock Bowers, Colston Loveland asking, I got double elite tight end. Is my team shit? It's not my preferred way to build. And yet I don't hate how your team's coming together. Why don't we check in on his at the end and see how his experiment turned out?
Yeah. So is he talking Gully or himself?
Oh, no, that's not me. Okay. We're back on the clock. Higgins, Shaheed, and I also think Stephon Diggs certainly makes sense.
I would probably say Diggs.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah. I'm confident that Diggs is going to play football. So let's get
Diggs
him
is
here.
we've talked about CLV for Diggs in the context of the traditional stuff. He's another guy that I do think moves up pretty quickly. Maybe he lands in an unattractive spot. Like, I don't know, like if he lands in the Raiders, even then, once the projection bros do their thing, like he's going to represent a value at this price. And then in more bullish scenarios, whether it's the Commanders or, wherever we're dreaming on these guys to land, Kansas City, whatever, like he could easily be in the Michael Pittman range pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a bad spot for Diggs. I mean, I feel so bullish about anywhere that he goes, because like you said, even if he does land in like Miami or Vegas, which I could totally see, those are, I think somewhat attractive options in terms of money that they can spend because they have a ton of cap, and warmish weather, whatever. Okay, cool. He has like essentially like no target competition. I mean, he has Brock Bowers and in Vegas, but in Miami, if that was the case, like, okay, cool. He's going to have an insane target share. And then if he ends up on a good team, okay, cool. So he has a good quarterback. Like it's just like all upside for me. I'm full rose colored glasses on Diggs, and he's going to sign somewhere, man. These vets just take their time. They don't want to go to OTAs. Like,
I know.
They're just buying their time.
2-5-4-1. We got May and Bo Nix. Our running backs are rock solid. Genty, Hampton, Henderson, Jalen Warren, and Jonathan Brooks. We have Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, Josh Downs, and Diggs at wide receiver. Tight end, Travis Kelce. And another nice thing, rainbow flops with bye weeks across all of our positions. No overlapping. I was going to lobby for Daniel Jones if he made it. He does go. This looks like prime tight end territory. Do you want to stack up May with Hunter Henry here?
Yeah, I love Hunter Henry in this spot. This is like an absolute slam dunk.
Yeah, man. This team, this is like the exact way I would want to draw up an eliminator team. Obviously, maybe we'd quibble with some of the specific player selections, but structurally here, this is really coming together.
It is like this is essentially what I try to do, like every single eliminator draft. This is like for sure a tight end pocket here, and I would, hopefully we can have someone decent fall back to us, because I would not hate just like grabbing a third, and then that way we don't have to think about maybe going for tight end. I think with a Kelce, Hunter Henry team, you're probably okay with going 3 no matter what, but
yeah,
getting somebody in this last call before like Pat Freiermuth is top guy would be nice.
And you called it at the top of the stream with JSN, these week 11 buys. You can see here on the solver, we do have 3 week 11 buys, and, teams there, New England, Atlanta, Cleveland, Green Bay, Los Angeles, Seattle. That is something to keep a tab on. And I think that's a good note, Nez, as far as if you do want to break some ties early away from week 11, knowing that you might accidentally get condensed there.
Yeah, it's really easy to.
Jawan Jennings, SYTYCT, Jalen Naylor, any of these wide receivers, Travis Hunter. What do you think?
I would vouch for Jennings.
Yeah.
Just like the Minnesota team bet.
I overruled you on Addison,
which is fine
because of Jennings. So, I mean, let's compound that take, at least in the context of this draft.
Yeah, everything that I said about Addison obviously applies to Jawan Jennings. And Jennings has a pretty unique role as far as like the routes that he will run for the Vikings as well. That kind of, at least like the way that we think of Kyler fits Kyler's game better. So yeah, I like Jawan in the eliminator.
Yep. So we're up to a 2-5-5-2. Drake May, Bo Nix at quarterback, Genty, Hampton, Hendo, Warren, Brooks at running back, Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, Josh Downs, Stephon Diggs, Jawan Jennings at wide receiver, Travis Kelce, and Hunter Henry at tight end. Michael brings up in the chat, eliminator is the format for the non-big stacker folks. Not that I don't agree, but again, it's a fine line, right, Nez? Because we still want to be directionally accurate on which teams we think are going to overperform their cumulative ADP cost, and getting less things right is a really important thing. A good example would be last year. There were people who took Michael Wilson and Trey McBride together and just hitting on that windfall of that team really cooking, whether it was garbage time or not. That was a huge win for people who were willing to make bigger team bets. But I also agree, you can't take 5, 6, 7 from a single team because you just open yourself up to too much weekly downside risk.
Yeah, two ways that can go wrong. One, like they just have a bad week, and two, you get screwed because on their bye week, you don't have enough points there to make up for it. But I think in any format, obviously, if you have a crystal ball and you know a team is going to have a good offense, you would stack them.
So Nez, I think this is kind of dealer's choice. I will mention Fernando Mendoza with our Genti thing. Speaking of team bets, I'm intrigued by a Gunnar Helm tight end. There's some wide receivers. Make a call here.
I like Helm, but I don't hate Mendoza at all as an option if he makes it back.
Let's do Helm. We'll get our third tight end. He has a week 9 bye. It doesn't overlap with Kelsey or Hunter Henry there. Gives us a nice strong room. And then we can let the quarterback theme come to us. Obviously, Mendoza in this format, he does go. You're not going to get him for, I don't know, 5, 6 weeks. It seems pretty unlikely he sits much longer than that. Mm-hmm. I think with the Knicks in May room, you could easily survive those 5 weeks. And then does he give you an element with Genti down the stretch that could help you navigate a Bo Nix or Drake May bye week kind of thing?
For sure. And those guys being 10 and 11 buys too, just like totally opens up Mendoza. He would have been a fine pick there if we went him over Helm. But I'm pretty excited about Gunnar Helm, man. I can't help it.
And we are very close to getting shut out at tight end. I mean, you mentioned Freiermuth. He really is by ADP kind of the last of a tier, I think, as far as eliminator. And so he does make it here. So maybe we could have considered that. But let's see here. What do you like? The Wicks stuff sounds really good. If you wanted to go to Eagles, Antonio
Wicks or Mooney.
Wicks or Mooney. Was there some injury stuff on Mooney lately? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything, but I was just thinking in terms of like early points. Yeah.
That's what I was. I think Wicks and Mooney are very similar bets in that regard. I am a little colored by, I was just reading the Albert Breer report yesterday and I put it in the Fantasy Life newsletter. Like he was like, do not sleep on Dontavian Wicks. Like he is going to be a thing here. I obviously think he's going to get displaced by Mekhi Lemon at some point in the season, but it's also not hard for me to see him, one, immediately being better than Hollywood Brown and earning a lot of targets at the beginning of the season, and then still having potential for spike week upside, even when Lemon or Stowers comes on late in the year. So he seems like a solid eliminator pick to me.
I like him on the Eagles a lot, man. In Green Bay, they just had like, before they traded Dubs and traded Wicks, like they had so much talent there that like, it was really hard for Wicks to get on the field consistently. In Philadelphia, like, yeah, they drafted Mekhi Lemon. He's definitely going to take that spot at some point, but he's definitely better than Hollywood Brown. I mean, I'll say definitely in that regard. I think he has way more upside than Hollywood Brown. For sure, my bet for wide receiver 3 snaps there, and early season production is potentially a thing here too. If Lemon is not going to get those snaps right away, then Wicks obviously looks great.
We have 2 more picks here. We got a 2, 5, 6, 3. Our running back room, our quarterback room, tight end room all looks solid to me. We're for sure taking at least a 7th wide receiver, but probably getting to 8 here, right, Ness?
I would strongly prefer 8.
Yep. So now it's just trying to figure out the kind of profile we want. Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, Josh Downs, Diggs, Jennings, Wicks. Pretty good mix of, I'd say we've been hunting for targets with this room. So now you had mentioned Mooney before. Would you like to lock up Mooney here and add both of them?
I would. I mean, I think there's a lot of bearishness around the Giants right now, but I'm quite confident we're not going to see Malik Neighbors for the first 4 weeks and potentially past that. Mooney was brought in. I'd say that based on the money, he has the leg up on Slayton. I still think Mooney can play, but last year was obviously a disaster for him. But just given the way that I think this offense is going to look, Mooney projects for probably the most targets here for week 1, based on everybody else that we're looking at. I'm just going to grab my dog. You're good.
Yeah, it's funny too, because it's like the Mooney stuff. They have that day where they sign, 3 veteran wide receivers, just total dust balls, the Beckham signing day, which it's also like, all right, I mean, how confident are they in Mooney? But you should have confidence in Mooney relative to the other names in that room. I guess there's maybe some concern now that Slayton is going to be a thing again. I think you could argue they have kind of overlapping skill sets as that downfield guy, but Mooney has just been a guy that has produced year over year in lots of different scenarios as the wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. So I don't mind just chasing that, target void in New York with Neighbors and Wandell gone. Like he could have like a 7 to 8 target, runway at the start of the season.
Yeah, there's so many vacant targets in New York. Not only with Neighbors like potentially missing early, but obviously Wandale too.
I got some names in the queue here. Final wide receiver pick. I put Jeremy Bernard, Christian Kirk. Anyone else that you like?
I like all these names. I'm cool with Jeremy. Like I don't have like these are everyone that you queued up is good. There's a lot of really nice options here. Booty's even like really intriguing me with the buzz that he's getting at camp. Like I think that he, there's a lot of wide receivers in that room, but like Booty was good for them, man. And he's getting good buzz right now. Like, I don't know. I think he's interesting.
Yeah. I like going rookie there, right? Because we are pretty heavy on veterans there. Like we had the string of Diggs, Jennings, Mooney, getting one guy who could really smash their draft capital there in Jeremy Bernard. And I do think he's a great eliminator selection in that he's probably not going to be as buried as a lot of these other rookie wide receivers. Like, I mean, you tell me, boots on the ground, but isn't he going to be on the field right away in 3 wide receiver sets with Metcalf and Pittman?
The latest buzz was that it's the absolute typical rookie reports. Like Roman Wilson's got the role, but like Jeremy Bernard could easily play his way into it. And I think that Jeremy Bernard could play his way into it in training camp. I don't think you even have to like let games play out. I think Roman Wilson, that ship has sailed. It's a brand new regime that did not draft Roman Wilson. This team drafted Jeremy Bernard. They plan on passing more by all accounts. I think Jeremy Bernard will be on the field like immediately for Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And again, you don't have to pay a premium in this format here. We get him at pick 210 to round out our room. I will recap this team with Nez here. I am throwing up the second vote here.
All
Nez,
right.
What should we draft? I did Pointer or Pitbull. Are you good with those 2 options?
Yeah, for sure. I'm maxed in both, but I'm very curious to see what the chat wants to do. Pointer, we might have the last lobby in the Pointer.
All right. I love that, but I'll let the chat ultimately decide. I'm good with either. Put 1 in the chat for Pointer, 2 in the chat for Pitbull. We will circle back here in a second after recapping this team. We just drafted in the Eliminator a 2-5-8-3. We have Drake May and Bo Nix. We have those 5 running backs through 103 picks: Genty, Hampton, Trevion Henderson, Jalen Warren, and Jonathan Brooks. We ended up at 8 wide receivers: Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, took a little break, grabbed Josh Downs, and then really hammered it down the home stretch. Diggs, Jawan Jennings, Dontavian Wicks, Darnell Mooney, Jeremy Bernard, and then the 3 tight ends, no overlapping bye weeks: Travis Kelce, Hunter Henry, Gunnar Helm. You could tell I was, itching a little bit for a Daniel Jones fall, a Mendoza fall, but otherwise, man, I love this team.
Yeah, this is so nice. I think one of my favorite parts about it is how the bye weeks like hardly overlap at all. That's always a good feeling when you look at an eliminator team and see the rainbow flops, as you were saying.
Yes. It's like, if you got a sick faller, then you're just going to kind of wave the bye week thing or try to make it work elsewhere. But man, it is really nice and to be breaking ties constantly away from those bye week things, because man, you can quickly be down, especially in the onesies, to just one player going that week. And it's not to say you can't survive it. I mean, we looked at a team last year. Wasn't it one of the teams had like Russell Wilson and Brock Purdy? And like we found a week where they might have even taken like a 0 or a super low score at quarterback and they snuck by. It's not impossible, but you want to avoid it as much as possible.
Yeah, you absolutely do. I feel confident about these two, but yeah, I think threes at the onesies would be most people's preference.
Yep. All right. It looks like the people are on board with the pointer here, 79% to just 21% for the pit bull. Look, I am happy to draft my first pointer here, Nez. I say we do it.
Let's go. Like I said, you got to run.
Got to run. Get in there. Yeah, Jake reminding us Yosh had a 0 in like week 8. I'm pretty sure that was the team we had reviewed where he did survive a 0 at one of the onesies.
Is that the week that he played Herzig, or maybe I'm thinking of a different week?
Oh yeah,
I must be.
Man, so much lore to that team.
Yeah. No, that was man, to be Yosh, like that would like, it's gonna be so hard to match that sweat like week over week. Like as soon as you hit like week 11 or 12, that's just so much fun.
It's such a good sweat. We are switching gears here. Once John gets back in the saddle, we'll kind of get back to our usual MO of focusing on a specific contest, maybe bring some guests in as well who have been playing a specific format. But today is a hodgepodge edition of Off and on the Clock, and we have the 109 in the pointer. If you guys have not played in this one, it's a smaller field contest, 20,000 total entrants. It's $11 per entry, 7 entry max. As Nez noted, this is close to filling, 95%. So if you've been waiting, definitely hop in now. It's 2 of 12 to get out of the regular season, 1 of 6 in week 15, 1 of 3 in week 16, in a 188 seat final. So Nez, this is the most week 16 doesn't matter. Week 17 is all that matters structure you will probably find.
I love it. I love it so much, man. The way that they've been, playing with these different advance rate structures has just been kind of nice, and a lot of like very like finals friendly tournaments there where way more people are going to make the finals than ever before, I think is a huge win for the team here. 40K to first too is awesome. Like this one filled pretty fast. This contest I think came out last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
40K to first, $77 to max it. Justin in the chat pounding the table for some super flex. Like I said, we're definitely going to swing back.
There's nothing in the lobby.
There is. Oh yeah, the field general filled, right?
Yeah, it's done. I would love to. I would love to make P draft some super flex, but we're all out. We gotta beg Numi for some more.
There you go. Normally they are quick to oblige us with those requests. So.
This year they've just been very, very giving.
Justin, how do you structure a team with like a 1,000 seat week 17? You got to stack that bitch up, man. You need to play for some shootouts. Yeah,
I would probably avoid the overstacking for that one personally, and just really try to be perfect.
Skinny stacks, maybe one bring back. On the clock, Nez, who do you like? Jefferson, Lamb, Barkley, Cook, Henry?
Jefferson, I think.
You're Minnesota pilled. It doesn't matter if it's Jefferson, Addison, Jawan Jennings. Give me all the Vikings.
Yeah, we'll get Jefferson. Get your Jefferson percentage up. I was between Jefferson or Genty, to be honest. I'm super Genty pilled this season. I think he's got so much work ready for him, ready to go. Improved line, hopefully improved quarterback play. I'm pretty Genty pilled. The team itself is scary in terms of like their win equity, but man, I think Genty is like primed to explode.
Yeah, man. I'm with you. I've been drinking that Kool-Aid as well. I mean, especially in Eliminator, I just wrote it up a little bit for Fantasy Life with the Guillotine League format again. Like that late buy, his pass catching upside. There's some really nice floor there. I'm good with the big dog here to pair with Jefferson, unless you want to go London, Chase Brown. We could do the 0 RB thing. You talked about that. You want to do London?
All right. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go 0 RB. I've been on a crusade. I do love the big dog, But let's do zero RB. Let's show people how it's done and make people feel uneasy.
Yes. Yes, we Nez, you kind of promised this. I mean, on your post for the episode, you said you're still on the zero RB crusade, and if that's the truth, then we got to do it here once, because it's real tough to do at the Eliminator. Have you done a zero RB at the Eliminator?
No, that feels insane, but maybe I'll try. It would be a very loose definition of zero RB, but I think adjusted for the Eliminator ADPs, I might try it. But my wide receiver, my running back one, like, might be Josh Jacobs. Will that still count? Like, it's a zero RB. Like, I don't know. The haters might not say that passes.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I do think, right now, I think it's basically impossible in Eliminator to probably do it right. I do think in August, I think you will be able to build some pretty smart Eliminator teams. I want to say it was Bimefor over at Spike Week had a really good zero RB Eliminator team that made it pretty deep in the contest last year. It is viable, because the thesis of zero RB too, of like, you don't have to get everything right at the same time. It's like you have a couple guys here, and then an injury breaks, and another guy's your dude for 4 weeks, and then a rookie comes out of nowhere down the stretch. It's like you play the ping pong game with those, and it actually plays well in the Eliminator if you build the room with the right types of players. I just don't think this landscape is giving us that option right now.
Yeah, you got to do a lot. You got to do like a lot of different things with that. And I think, rainbow flop at wide receiver, unless you are just playing for the week 13 min cash, and dancing with who you brought too, and really kind of shutting it down at 5 or 6 wide receivers. I think you got to commit to the bit. We do it with running backs. There's no reason why we shouldn't have that same mindset with wide receivers when we're drafting them at high capital. Like, if it doesn't, if these guys are not scoring points for you, the team's already dead. So just commit to it.
So we are in the pointer here. We are kind of committed to this zero RB ideology. We start with Justin Jefferson and Drake London. We will pick at 3-9. Best available by ADP right now. We have the Neighbors fall. We have Kyron Allen, Higgins, Javonte. How have you been playing the Neighbors thing? I mean, obviously makes sense in zero RB builds, but do you like pushing him?
Yeah, I don't like drafting Neighbors. Are you biting the bullet?
Not at this cost. Do you want to do Higgins or Ladd?
Yeah, Higgins, Ladd, or Josh Allen.
I don't do a lot of Allen. And if we're going to do the zero RB thing, we are probably going to want a 2 quarterback build. Not necessarily, but let's have some fun with this. I like getting the elite onesies when you do zero RB, in that I don't want to just blow my load with 5 wide receivers and then not have any wide receiver arrows left in our quiver, because we are going to have other spots in the draft where we want to take a wide receiver.
Yeah. Zero RB doesn't have to be, just straight piss. You can still try to beat teams at other positions. And I've said it a few times on this show, man. I think Josh Allen is a really fun pick, because like all the sharps are off of Josh Allen at cost. And I just think that he's like the Amon-Ra of quarterbacks, with even higher ceiling than his counterparts. Oh man, we get a Neighbors fall.
I'm willing to do it on this zero RB team, right? Like, how do we supercharge this thing?
Okay. Yeah, let's do it, man.
I was skeptical in round 3, but now with Allen, Jefferson, London, Neighbors, we can basically try to build a team where we have the QB1 and 3 top, 7, top 8 wide receivers in some of these money weeks.
Yeah. That's if we get this team across week 14, look out. This is definitely going to be a monster team.
And this is the format to take some risks on these guys. Obviously, the 2 of 12 is still important. That's the standard. But the 1 of 6, 1 of 3, I mean, that is a very reasonable path to a final where you then want that upside. I think, the knock on Neighbors is really more for the 2 of 12 element as opposed to how the playoffs shake out. Yeah,
definitely. But I still think something to a forgiving, playoff structure. That, okay, it's not like such a insane parlay where, okay, cool, you have to get Neighbors out of 2 of 12, and you have to beat 1 of 16 and 1 of 14. I think it just makes it a little sweeter for sure. It definitely going to be building in mind where like, hey, we are probably taking a 0 for the first 4 weeks, but that's no problem. We've got a Jefferson London start.
Yep. We got the Josh Allen, Jefferson London Neighbors start. I'm trying to see if we have any other interesting ADPs in this one. Jacobs falls to 44. Scatabo goes right after him at 45. I'm not seeing anything too out of the ordinary. If people were wondering about Rashee Rice post running out of jail, he does go 29 here.
I was curious. Okay, he's not moving up yet.
Not moving up yet. DeAndre Swift going ahead of David Montgomery. That's an interesting one for me. I haven't been able to make that move myself.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I can understand where that person's coming from, where like if you think of sexy offenses, you're definitely thinking of the Bears before you think of the Texans, but definitely enjoy Montgomery's backfield share more than Swift. And obviously like we're talking about it because it's a crazy pick, or not crazy, but just a rare selection that you don't normally see.
If we are committed to this 0 RB thing, the DJ Moore with Allen, Christian Watson, or Tyson all look like strong selections for us here. It's unfortunate, sometimes being able to get that tight end, like if we had access to a Loveland, that would have been fun, but that is not possible. What are you leaning toward here?
I would say DJ Moore, but I wouldn't hate cheating and grabbing Bucky. But let's do DJ Moore because he stacks.
Agree. I think if both Moore and Watson had gone, I think you could have swung me to Bucky. But if we're going to do the Allen thing, I do really think I'm also skeptical of the Allen price. But man, if it hits, like, isn't DJ Moore beating his ADP?
100%. 100%. I think that he it helps this offense so much. The way that he draws attention from defenses. I know he's not a superstar, but you're adding DJ Moore to a Bills offense that was pretty much like, okay, we got to worry about James Cook. We got to worry about Josh Allen. And we really are not worried about Kincaid or Shakir here. Moore absolutely changes the dynamic of the Bills. And obviously it's a fun stack.
All right, let's see here, Nez. I'm fine if we want to break ranks at this point. Also good with like a Warren or Jaden Daniels if you really want to kind of bully at these other positions.
I think Warren or Pollard.
Let's do for a second. My brain went to Jaylen Warren.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Let's do Tyler Warren. Let's see how far we can push this.
Okay.
And we've now not taken a running back through 6 rounds. We have Josh Allen and Warren at the onesies, Jefferson, London, Neighbors, DJ Moore, and now we will scramble.
Yeah. We're gonna have some fun because we just get to use our imagination for like half this draft where we just think about what if these running backs end up having their own standalone value. What if these guys get a starting role for one reason or another? Man, this team would be so good. It's elite for drafting on stream.
Exactly. This is the classic. Don't try this at home, folks. Nez promised a 0 RB crusade, and if anyone is going to enable him, it is going to be me. We'll see how it turns out. Andrew says, thoughts on just stacking the teams that play Miami in the playoff rounds. So I pulled this up. What are we looking at? We're looking at Bills Dolphins in week 17, Chargers Dolphins, and Packers Dolphins. So
wow.
On the one hand, Packers, Chargers, Bills, those seem like good offenses to target in general. I would say if you are hemorrhaging ADP value just to pick on this junior varsity Miami team, that's probably not a winning strategy, but I can't hate on it, man. I like where your head's at.
Yeah, no, that was a funny comment. I think the Saints are potentially in that realm too, but I have no true knowledge of whether or not the Saints offense or defense is going to be bad or not. But from my understanding, they're going to be pretty bad. And I think their offense is fun and fast paced, or at least we expect it to be. And that would be like a super, super fantasy friendly matchup like week in and week out. They were last year. It would be cool if that was the case this year.
Yep. So we are pushing this bit, Joshin, a 0 RB build to the people. Josh Allen, Jefferson, London, Neighbors, DJ Moore, Warren. You won't believe this, but running backs are flying off the shelves here to start round 7. Jaylen Warren, Ramondre Stevenson, Chuba Hubbard, Tony Pollard. We'll see how much we screwed ourselves here, Nez.
Kind of the ideal RB1s to a true 0 RB start. So we're looking at Monangai and Corum now for RB1. Okay.
That's right. That is right. Have some faith. Have some faith. Roquette says, I love your wide receivers. I'm a little worried about your running back. Fair.
Again.
It's very fair. Very fair. All right. Finally, some yellow coming off the board here in round 7. We have not taken a running back. I'm curious in the chat, and for you too, Nez, what is the latest you have taken a running back in a draft this year? Have you gone past round 6? Have you done a round 7 like we might do here for the first time?
I don't even know that I've done a round 7 0 RB start. I think I usually start at 6 or 5 or 6. And Rico Dowdle there is awesome. That is,
I was just going to say that's a gift for this team.
That is perfect. That's exactly the archetype of running back that I think you want for an RB1 if you are doing something as crazy as 0 RB.
And it cuts in both directions, right? It's like, well, yes, we need some goddamn running back points on this team, but we also know that there's going to be strong wide receiver values in the 100s. And so if we get to 5-6 wide receivers too fast, then we have no choice. Like basically we are forced when to take running backs. Like you kind of want to capitulate eventually because it gives you optionality for which position you take from there.
Exactly. Yeah. You never want to just know what you're going to take in a given round. That's never a sharp move. Not what good drafters do.
And these running backs, they weren't going to give us Dobbins, Harvey, or Gainwell here. I don't mind Corum.
Corum is sick. Price. Corum is an awesome RB2 here. I mean, last year, obviously 145 touches. Kyron, I think, did miss some time, I believe, or maybe that was just like Corum. I know Corum obviously had like some sick weeks with Kyron healthy. The Rams are going to be so good this year that, like, I mean, they ran the ball over like 300 times last year. I've seen no reason why their season total last year isn't the 40 percentile outcome for this year, given how good their defense is going to be and how much they should be like dominating games. They should be running the rock a ton.
Yep. Yeah. And again, like one, you just need bodies, but 2, you're hoping to hit on a big usage change. And sure, we can debate whether a Blake Corum flippening over Kyron is just pure wish casting. But I do think on teams like this, whether it is via injury or just a change of roles, like we're going to need a few things like that to break our way pretty early for this team to work.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. All right. We got some people weighing in on how far they have pushed 0 RB. Michael on DraftKings has done round 6. Okay. It's Dan Max says this is a Corum Brooks, Tucker, Ray Davis team. You bet your ass it is. Taupe says garbage time Corum is going to feed families. I think we're going to need more than garbage time for him to feed our families on this team, but I hope you're right. And Devin is the winner, the leader in the clubhouse. Round 8, Monangai, my first running back, almost got Dowdle to fall to me. He went 1 pick ago. So there you go.
Yeah. Curious how many running backs that team ended up with. I'm sure it was obviously a ton, but
the Topes clarifies Blake Corum garbage time is going to feed small families.
Our families with one child.
Yeah. Sorry. The Mormons are shit out of luck with their Blake Corum shares to find someone else to feed them. So we got the 0 RB team cooking 1-2-4-1. We were 4 wide receivers through round 5, including a DJ Moore to Josh Allen stack. Went ahead and grabbed Tyler Warren there at pick 64 to hopefully give us that elite tight end upside. And then we're sweating as these running backs came off the board, but coming away with Rico and Corum there. Yeah, Monungai goes at 101. That would have been kind of a fun faller to add on to this.
Yeah.
If we're looking at running back options, I mean, Aaron Jones, Rashad White kind of stand out to me at this pick.
Yeah. Aaron Jones makes sense with the Jefferson pick. Love Rashad White as a pick for this team too.
Let's play the ADP game and just go Rashad White first.
Okay. Yeah.
See if we can get both of them potentially. If not, no big deal there. What's your fair price for, have you been on the clock weighing any Chris Rodriguez decisions of late?
No, because I just don't take them.
Yeah.
I would say maybe pick 120, 130, and maybe that's overhating, but you've got the foot injury plus I think his role in this offense is being way overblown. I'm not too interested in buying any Chris Rodriguez shares.
I'm with you. I will say, Best Ball Breakfast yesterday, he almost came back to me at pick 140. I want to say went 139, 138. I'm certainly a buyer at those prices. So yeah, I'm kind of actually, as someone who loves Tootin and like you had not been clicking C-Rod, I am looking for a buying window right now.
Yeah.
I'd say after pick 130, I'm ready to give him a nice long look.
Yeah, Jonathan Brooks goes. I think we did fine with taking Rashad White there, but he definitely would have been a fun selection for us.
Yeah, I'll throw. I mean, we're obviously needing to catch up at running back. Kyler is kind of interesting.
He is.
He goes. So we wanted both Jones. I did toss Bill in the queue as well, but considering we just took Rashad White, you want to grab Aaron Jones?
Yeah, I don't hate arbitraging the Washington backfield, but let's go Aaron Jones and just try to draft we're right here.
Yeah, and again, I think it does help us with that idea of, okay, it's really hard to make zero RB work, but can you tell yourself, can you look at week 1 projections and say Rico Dowdle projects for 14.5 touches, Rashad White projects for 15.5 touches, Aaron Jones projects for 13.5 touches, and it's okay, we actually found some volume at a discount to make the zero RB team work.
Yeah. We, as of right now, we are surviving for sure at running back. We might even be able to flex one of these guys. Who's to say? And we are, we're covered at QB and tight end. I mean, it's not we're not walking a tightrope, but I think we're doing pretty well right now.
Yes. Agreed. And I think the thing that's nice about these guys, I would say Corum again has a lot of variance as far as what we can expect from him, but we kind of know what we're going to get from Rico, Rashad White, and Aaron Jones, and health, just becomes a premium. But because so many of the late running back options are super speculative, the roles are really in doubt, getting these touches here, I think allows us to load up on handcuffs and rookies late.
Yeah. Yep, this is what you should be doing. We can't just go straight upside off the rip. We gotta get there first. And these guys in this pocket are totally the way to play it, in my opinion. And yeah, with this ADP landscape, I think this is kind of how you do it. We even pushed it. We'll see. We still have half the team left to draft, but. These guys in that range, I think are excellent picks to build out a zero RB room. I think we have projectable touches and still some upside left on the board.
Yep. So to recap here, the 1-4-4-1, we waited until pick 81 to select our first running back. We now have Josh Allen at quarterback. We have Rico Dowdle, Blake Corum, Rashad White, Aaron Jones at running back, Justin Jefferson, Drake London, Neighbors, DJ Moore at wide receiver, Tyler Warren at tight end. We do have some stacking options here with Josh Allen, which in this format, we're going to need a nuclear game from him in week 17. Trying to get Shakir or Dalton Kincaid to come along for the ride certainly makes sense to me.
Yep. Yeah. I'm not over the moon on Tyrone Tracy. We've got 4 running backs already to kind of be our floor. I don't think Tracy has immense upside, which is really kind of what we're looking at here. So Shakir goes. I'm all Kincaid here.
I am as well. We'll see. Kincaid goes.
I
The
thought we
guy
were
did,
up. Not that that would have mattered, but damn.
yeah, that hurts. We could grab. You want to do Coker and build another quarterback out?
Yeah, I like Coker.
Get our 5th wide receiver here. I mean, like you said, we could go Tracy, Neighbors early. But I mean, now that Scatabo is looking pretty healthy, I mean, is there that big of a difference between Tracy and,
Woody
some of these other
Marks.
guys? Yeah.
No, I think I might even prefer Woody Marks because I think Cam Scadaboo does too much of everything too well. Like, I don't like we could be looking at some really, really low Tyrone Tracy weeks. Like, I think at this point, like, now that the injury risk or like the upside for like Cam Scadaboo looking healthy, I think totally nukes Tracy's value in this range. Like, I don't click him anymore.
What do you think about going Keaton Mitchell here as another just let's get a huge upside running back?
What other running backs do we have here? I think
it's
Keaton Mitchell.
Tracy, Keaton, Woody Marks, Pacheco, Jonah Coleman, Algier.
Yeah, I think this is Keaton Mitchell. I would say Mitchell or Woody, but I think Mitchell with this type of team that we've got cooking. Let's get some upside on this team and try to break a slate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were talking it through we did Hampton in the Eliminator Draft. I've been out on Keaton, but I've been coming around on him. Like my bear case against Keaton Mitchell is like, isn't this just going to be the same thing as last year? He's a fancy RB3. He was in a really good offense with the Ravens, and yet he was in a very specific limited role. I don't care how efficient he is on a per touch basis. If you're losing goal line carries and early down work to Derrick Henry, and you're losing valuable pass catching work to Justice Hill, you basically have to hit a home run every time you touch the ball. So that's my bear case. And then like Levitan's pounding the table for Keaton Mitchell. Everybody's getting me riled up about this Chargers offense, saying that he's going to surprise and touch the ball more than anyone thinks. And so I'm like, fine, Nez.
As Davis Maddox said, what am I going to do? Not get gas? Not drive? I'm gonna draft Keaton Mitchell at whatever price he's listed. No, I'm not a Keaton Mitchell drafter either, but I think it's the pattern matching as to like how Keaton Mitchell wins is really easy to make that case. And for a 0 RB team, man, like, yeah, I think we could probably use some like easy upside where Keaton Mitchell, maybe his touches are not, very high week to week, but he still has like 30-yard touchdown, 40-yard touchdown, like high efficiency touches in his game logs.
I know, like the other pattern match for me is it feels a little like the Rashid Shaheed stuff where it was like, we like the player, we know he's talented. And then you get this change of scenery and you work yourself up even more. It's like, oh man, this is blast off scenario. Now you're Seattle, you're the clear wide receiver too. And it's like, yeah, but they don't really use them. And to me, that's like the idea of Keaton Mitchell is so much cooler than what Keaton Mitchell actually does for a football team. And when the coach is actually forced to call plays and he's like, I want to give Omarion Hampton the ball. He's really good. Man, Kamani Vidal makes no mistakes in pass protection and is really reliable there in the 2-minute drill. And it's like, we love Keaton Mitchell and we give him 4.5 touches a game.
Yeah. And we're drafting in pure, conceptual season where we're only thinking about the idea of these guys. So that's why Keaton Mitchell gets so much love. Bryce, I think, is a pretty awesome pick here.
Yeah, we need another quarterback. They're flying off the board after Bryce. We're down to Mendoza, Rodgers, Geno territory. We took Coker. It makes a ton of sense to get that second stack here. And now we have a 2-5-5-1. There's some strong tight ends on the board here. If we were able to get one of these coming back in the next round, I think it sets us up well for the end game. Some rookie running backs, some handcuff running backs, and one more wide receiver, one more tight end, basically.
Yeah. A tight end with this next pick, I think, would be ideal, but we'll see if these guys make it back. This is the range that I was, talking about, where it's kind of like last call.
Sounds like Garage was on the same wavelength. Haven't clicked Keaton, but seeing Levitan ETR project him for more touches makes me wonder. And Levitan, I will say, he kind of mentioned that was an IKB for him as well.
Yeah.
What do you like here, Nez? Sadiq, Strange, Chig. I'm down with any of those guys if you have a favorite.
I think Chig. I like Strange too, but Chig, man, looking like the second highest target earner on the Commanders right now. I'm pretty interested in how the volume is being spread out in the Commanders and how much of that looks like it's going to funnel to Chig right now.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. Anytime I can, I've been doing Commander stacks. I did like an expensive one on Best Ball Breakfast with McLaurin, Bill, and Jaden. And then I've loved the cheap one too, like Rashad, Antonio Williams, Chig. I think if I had to have my like early flag plant offense, like slicing and dicing this Commanders team built largely around the Jaden pick in round 6, that to me is like one of my favorite offenses to attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't forget Ayuk. He just posted an IG story yesterday with his location in Virginia.
Really? Oh boy.
Here we go. And he stepped on the scale today. He's 208.
I know what's coming next. It's going to be like a selfie of him at the Washington, D.C. PF Chang's with Jaden Daniels, and we're all going to lose our mind.
It's going to be him outside the facility with like security being like, dude, you can't be here. Like, what are you doing? get away from the facility. You're not a member of this team. It's like, no, I am.
So we got a 2-5-5-2 going. You guys are going to have to let us know how our 0 RB experiment is unfolding. We have Allen and Bryce Young stacked up with their number 1 wide receivers, DJ Moore and Jalen Coker. I'll let that one land for a second. We do have our 5 running backs: Rico, Blake Corm, Rashad White, Aaron Jones, Keaton Mitchell. We have our other 4 wide receivers, or 3, along with Moore and Coker, Neighbors, Drake London, Justin Jefferson, tight end Tyler Warren, Chigakonkwo. This could be a team, too, Nez, where we choose a fighter with the Atlanta quarterback situation as like an 18th round pick, potentially, if we wanted.
Yeah, I'm probably going to fight for a running back in round 18, but we'll see what's there. I think we're going to be painting the town green, I think, for the most part for the rest of the way.
Yeah, 2-5-5-2. We have 4 more picks. 1 is definitely a tight end, 2 are definitely running backs, and 1 is probably a wide receiver. So yeah, I think I'm with you on that vision. I will say, Nez, I'm getting pretty hype on Bigsby in this range.
I think Bigsby makes so much sense here.
I will say, like, the thesis I think is already strong. I mean, we've talked about him here. I think I was quizzing you and John of like, hey, what would you guys project him for touches? And I thought you guys made a sound case. And then one of the reports yesterday, I also included this in the Fantasy Life newsletter. The beats say Will Shipley is on the roster bubble, that he is not a guaranteed spot. And some of the complicating thesis for these RB2s is that third back. We're just talking about Kamani Vidal. What does that mean for Keaton Mitchell? If you remove Will Shipley from that equation and you're now giving Tank Bigsby 1 to 2 catches in addition to all the base work he would get without Barkley, that starts to become a premium RB2 selection who should probably be going at least in the Isaiah Pacheco range, if not higher.
Yeah, man. Like he's such a sick handcuff. We lose Kamara. That would have been awesome.
You want to do like an Otten or Freiermuth as a third tight end?
Yeah, let's do Otten.
Yeah.
I think we should get some of these good running backs.
Or do you want to do Ray Davis?
I'm cool with that, man. I'm never going to. I mean, I liked Otten there. I was never going to say no to any running back suggestion either. But
maybe I was too like 3 tight end pilled even with Warren there. I mean, going back on it, do you think 7
I don't think it's
wide
bad.
Receivers or 3 tight ends made more sense?
3 tight ends, I think. The idea with the 3 tight ends is that you can flex one of them, right? Like, and I think that I really like the 3 tight ends that we have here. And for me, I really like the idea that with our first 2 tight ends or 2 wide receiver selections, like we absolutely like knocked it out the park. And now in terms of wide receiver 3 and flex, like that we have enough to kind of mix and match at that point before Neighbors gets back. Because once Neighbors gets back, this this team hopefully is in a good spot and is absolutely cooking. I could have taken it either way, to be honest. Seeing Singleton and Katron does kind of hurt a little bit, but they're still. I got a deep bag for late round running back, so don't worry.
All right. I'm excited to see it here. Yeah, we're up to 6 running backs. I like this room we've put together. Rico, Corum, Rachaad White, Aaron Jones, Keaton Mitchell, Bigsby. I think we do need a rookie to tie this room together, but we got options here. And then it'll be a 6th wide receiver. Probably because this is a thinner room, assuming Neighbors misses early, Jefferson, London, Moore, Coker. We should probably go target hunting a little bit here.
I would say I would look for floors here. Like we have options. Obviously, Cooper Kupp is everybody's favorite floor option. Judy still here on a team that's going to be trailing a lot, we believe, and he's just earned 100 targets back-to-back seasons. There he goes. Pat Bryant also getting some love too.
Yeah, Pat Bryant's one of those guys where I'm like, I'm just so wired to click him over and over again, and I really am trying to antagonize my own default lazy processing with him, because I just he stands out to me in this range, and I'm just like, how many times am I going to do it?
I know. I think he's a pretty fun click where he could just be like a huge touchdown scorer for the Broncos. I think the Broncos are going to be so good, and he has obviously a ton of upside. Go ahead and throw Jaden Blue in there for me too.
Yeah, okay. I was hoping he
just went
Candyman.
Damn you. I'm going to say you 3 times so I can sock you in the face, brother.
I like that call, though, too. I'd put in Marshawn Lloyd, Damon Claiborne. Someone in the chat had mentioned Ty Johnson just because of the Bill stuff. I'd probably be Lloyd or Claiborne, but I'm open to other names here if you got one.
No, I think Marshawn Lloyd.
Let's do it.
Yeah, he made it through camp, man. He made it through OTAs. He missed one day kind of like mysteriously, and then he stopped rising. I think we haven't seen Marshawn Lloyd play, but like I'm telling you, man, he's talented. I really am like excited to see Marshawn Lloyd if he can stay healthy, because if he can stay healthy, I would not be surprised if Josh Jacobs like sees a pretty big dip in volume, just because Marshawn Lloyd was not healthy last year. They didn't have RB2s to even give Jacobs a break, and I think they could use some explosiveness there.
Yeah, on the clock here, Nez. We're going to grab a wide receiver. Anyone stand out to you here?
Kupp or Keenan? I'm cool with Kupp.
All right, man. I have been trying to get the courage for more Keenan. Have you been doing him a little bit in round 18?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of Keenan in round 18. He's going to sign, man. He's like doing what did he just post on Instagram today? So he's been posting workouts, and he's still like being active. He was like signing helmets in San Diego or something. So it does make me nervous that he's like really trying to be a Charger. So he's doing a youth football camp in San Diego. I am worried about like the proximity thing, but Vegas isn't too far away from LA. So maybe he ends up going to Vegas and just being an absolute target hog. I'm not sure what his end goal is, but he's going to sign. I do feel pretty confident that it's up to him. Like teams could absolutely use a professional target earner and ruin the fantasy dreams of the rest of the team.
Here is the final squad, 2-7-6-3. We kind of found ourselves pot committed to the idea of a 0 RB team. We saw it through, and I like it, man. It's Josh Allen and Bryce Young at quarterback, obviously putting a lot on Superman there to carry us, but the running back room, I think it's viable. Rico, Blake Corum, Rachaad White, Aaron Jones, Keaton Mitchell, Tank Bigsby, Marshawn Lloyd. I had liked the idea of a rookie running back there. I liked Nez's call on Jaden Blue. Once we had taken Aaron Jones, I did put Damon Claiborne in the queue, but it becomes a little less attractive because we want Jones to hold on there. But the wide receivers, Jefferson, London, Neighbors, DJ Moore, really solid top 4. Coker, Kupp there to round it out. And then 3 tight ends, Warren, Chig, and Otten. How do you think we did, Mr. 0 RB Crusader?
I really, really like this team, man. Like quarterback and tight end, I feel super good about, not worried about points there at all. I feel pretty good about RB 1 and 2 for this team. I think we can cobble together like 10 points from RB1 and RB2 each on this team, and then maybe mix in some spike weeks there. Hopefully, the thing that I'm pretty nervous about is like who was flexing for us week to week until we get Neighbors back, because that could be pretty problematic. But if Jalen Coker breaks out, if we get some really strong usage from those first 4 running backs, like we could be okay. It's that flex spot that I really worry about. And the thesis of zero RB is that you get some injuries, and but like it's not fun to say. But man, if Tank Bigsby gets the RB1 role in Philadelphia, like this team is just absolutely insane. Same with Lloyd, man. Lloyd has a lot of outs too. So
yeah, I think to me the most exciting thing is that this feels viable to me. I do think in August, we are going to feel so much better about these type of builds, like the strength of these selections, mainly probably the rookies and some of the handcuff pictures really coming into focus, because there are a lot of interesting names late that aren't getting drafted just because you're like, they could be a 0 as an RB3, which is fair. But the second they become more solidified RB2s, then these rooms start to kind of really draft themselves, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think case in point last year was like Kyle Monangai, 6th-round running back, like didn't feel great. We still were drafting Roshan Johnson last year, and the buzz was just like impossible to ignore. And we thought they were going to do more at running back, or maybe no, that was the Bengals. Sorry, we did kind of think that the Bears would do something other than Monangai, and they only did Monangai, and they kept talking about him. Like that type of buzz is really what you want to pay attention to, and the consistency of said buzz to then identify who are these zero RB targets late in the season. Right now, obviously, it's all guesswork. It's all like maybe things break out, but yeah, in August we're going to feel a lot better about trying these type of builds.
Beautiful. I will say there were some doubters in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Will it shock you to know that one of them is named Eggers?
Eggers 3. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically Don Draper. I never think about you.
Yeah, I don't think about you at all.
Doesn't think about you at all. Thank you, everybody, for voting today, getting us in the pointer and eliminator drafts. I saw some people trickling in being like, did you talk about Rashee Rice? Yes, we did. Did we talk about new scheduled drafts on Underdog? Yes, we did. So you can go back to the top of the show if you want to see those. I did just get, I got some World Cup boosts going. Have you been firing in the World Cup lobby here?
Just in the dailies, I've been like grabbing some projections and stacking a little bit here and there just to like have a little bit of a sweat. I have not done anything in terms of pick'ems, but never say never.
Should we tail? I do see our guy Davis was in the Discord and linked an entry. Let's just pull this up here, and we can tail Davis. So we have Erling on Norway. I believe he's like one of the most electric goal scorers in the tournament, if I actually can remember that. Sabitzer here over 0.5 goals assists. It was same for Erling, and Michael Olise scoring a goal. And then some guy, Riyad Mahrez, 1.5 shots attempted. I mean, this looks like an absolute shipper to me.
Yeah, I trust Davis, man. I absolutely trust Davis, and in a lot of aspects, but especially in footy, he really does sell it.
So the question is what to use. So I did just get this email from Underdog. There's a Team USA discount with any eligible pick, $50 max, 3 to 8 picks, or I could just use my 30% World Cup boost. Maybe I saved the USA discount for an actual USA entry here.
Yeah.
Use the boost here.
Let's boost it.
All right. This gets it up to a 14.36 here. This is what I'll say. If this hits, all praise needs to go to me and Nez for bringing this entry to your attention. If it doesn't hit, Dave has made this injury. I don't know anything about soccer, and take it up with him. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. By the Holland is like, insane. He's like 3x to score 3 goals today. That should be like 12x, but that's
all right. The chat's saying he's a ball knower. Nobo Sox are saying those are all big name offensive players. Famous last words indeed. But yeah, go take advantage of everything in the lobby, that Team USA discount, World Cup boost. I will say, I assume everyone on here, anyone watching this show is already on Underdog, but if for some reason you're on or your friends and family aren't, they are running that promotion where they're going to give $25 million away to 25 people. So 25 millionaires if ... big if the United States wins the World Cup. But as I said on Twitter over the weekend, I feel like the Risk team would have priced that giveaway slightly differently had they known how dominant US looked in their opening game.
I think they maybe would have done like $1 million giveaway and like maybe 20K to 50 people, like make it like, yeah, I think they were sweating when they saw how good the US looked. And literally it doesn't even have to be a World Cup pick'em. If you are so like, EV pilled, like you can't play anything you don't know, any pick'em entry gets you entered into that, which I thought was great. You don't even have to opt in, just play a pick'em, you're in. Man, how awesome would that be if America wins?
I wonder what it would be so fascinating. Yeah, here's the promo here. One Nation Underdog. What a
that's so good
phrase. 25 million giveaway. If the US wins it all, you need to do is make a single entry, as Nez said, any sport, any game between now and the time USA ships it to be eligible. I also think, man, they would have to do like a stream. I would want to see a randomizer wheel with the names coming up, just like cashing to just making millionaires there.
Yeah, you got to make that a whole thing. That would be unbelievable. Dude, they look so good. Here's the thing. So Gab for Life says they could give away $1 billion. USA ain't winning the World Cup. If the Risk team truly thought that, they would make it $1 billion giveaway, but they did not do that because there is a chance. There are actual odds, and they are very small, but they are not small enough to do a $1 billion challenge. I'll tell you that. I think the US is now top 10 in odds.
There you go.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Anything can happen.
It would, I would love, that would be a good content idea. It's like, have whoever on the Risk team, like help price this out and figure this, do like daily vlogging as the US keeps winning. It just being like, well, I do remember bringing this idea to Jeremy. I thought it was a good one at the time, but I'm going to be out of a job if the USA keeps winning.
Need the marketing team to save my ass.
Yeah, that's what it probably has to be. Shady says externally insured. They have to have either that or it probably wouldn't be that hard to hedge it once you got to the finals.
Yeah, once you get there, I think the hedge is totally something that they'll be doing. But yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. I don't know anything about like the business logistics of that, but I would assume if that's a thing, then for sure.
All right, fun show here. Rashee Rice, NBA Finals recap, updates on Underdog. So you think you can tout talk, an Eliminator Draft, a Pointer Draft, and a World Cup Pick'em. That's how we do it on Off and on the Clock. Nez, what is your schedule this week?
This week I am I'm done for shows for today. There's $40K in baseball prizes, $5K to first. This is the biggest slate that we've had. So no content for me. I got to get out here and draft it. If you want to talk to me about the slate, I can fill you in. Thursday, I'm leaving for a bachelor party. So I will be gone Thursday, Friday, but Wednesday I'm back doing baseball and NFL drafts. So that'll be like a pretty long like farewell show while I'm gone for the long weekend.
There you go. As for me, we got Swolecast later today at 3 Eastern. I think we are just doing a bouncing around the Swole show. I believe tomorrow we're going to spin up a Swole Cutta for the US Open. So if you are a golf bro and want to join us for that, I believe that's members only. We'll have Ship Chasing tomorrow. We are going to compare Underdog ADP to Redraft ADP and kind of start to think through, where are those differences? What are the players that make more sense in Redraft versus Best Ball? Kind of start to lay the foundation over there as we start drafting some managed teams. So you can look forward to that. Obviously, the fellas have ADP chasing tonight. Can't wait for the Rashee Rice analysis from those guys. That should be a good hour and 15-minute segment alone. Thursday, I'll have the Bash at noon Eastern. Have a blast with that every week, and glad we were able to get some So You Think You Could Tout YouTube members on to draft. And then I'm going to do After Dark Thursday night. Ben Gretsch. Haven't done a show with Ben in a hot minute. And it's kind of been a tradition on my birthday week. I generally sync up with Gretsch in some form or another. So that'll be a fun one.
That's awesome. Love that.
Yeah, Eggers is right. Badge Bro's running out of PTO. Nez and John actually have a collective PTO pot, and John has burned through all of it.
All of it. I might be doing drunk streams from this bachelor party just because I'm obligated to clock in for you guys. Don't hold your breath.
Even as someone who is just in Europe, like enjoying afternoon beers during the day, I still have European vacation envy for John. He's posting his Guinness, watching the games at the World Cup. They're swimming, off the coast. And I'm like, just get out of here, John.
I know. I need to mute him until he gets back. This is pissing me off.
That's right. All right. Appreciate you guys. Check out the Badge Bros. Subscribe. Make sure you guys are YouTube members over there and on this channel. Appreciate all of your guys' support. We'll see you next Tuesday. As always, let us know in the comments if there's something you specifically like us to draft. We'll take it into consideration. For Nez, I'm Pete. We'll see you guys.